Good morning. I'm here with Ken and Dave from Wildwood Cabinets in beautiful Maryville, Tennessee. They are the cult heroes of 2-second lean, and you've seen them on the videos that Rick has sent out. And so we have taken an incredible 15 minutes of their time and turned it into a 2-hour tour of their facility and seen incredible improvements in attitude and process, and they would share that they're just in the infancy of getting this program going. So I think I've got just a few questions, and then we'll share some other stuff off of this video of some of the things that we witnessed. Ken, what's the number one benefit you and your company received from implementing 2-second lean now 2 years ago?
Right. I would think it's just as what Paul actually says in the title of his book. I think we talk about lean manufacturing, but in the title of his book, he talks 2-second lean. He says building a culture, growing your people, building a culture. And that's what we've gotten out of it. So now we can implement so many things in our company because our culture is different than what it was before. Yes, we manufacture cabinets. We always manufacture them at a high level, and yes, it has saved us money, and yes, people are happier, all those things. But what I have now is a team of people that are willing to take on challenges. Change is no problem. Implementing a new thing, we're bringing out a new product line, and we've been able to just fast track that in 1 month. It would have taken us at least 9 months before, and a lot of wailing to get it done. We've done it 1 month without really any problem. I keep talking about how easy it's been because we have a culture now where everyone's positive and they think through it. And the best thing I'd like to say about it is I always say I'm at the top of a pyramid scheme. See, before I used to be the guy at the top trying to make things happen, and I was always upset because I'm the only one that could see it. And now we've got a team that they're all building at whatever level of our company. They're all coming with ideas, and they're channeling all those good ideas up to the top. And I just feel like I'm on a pyramid scheme. Everything's going our direction. It's not just the smart guy that's making it happen. It's all my people. They're coming up with brilliant ideas, things I would never think about, and improving ideas. I might have a little idea, and they take it 3 more steps. I'm afraid to ask. Like, we were prototyping this stuff. I thought, well, that might take us a few months to get that implemented. And
that's actually, with them actually, like Ken's saying, being in the process, they're more in tune with what's going on in their work day to day. So in other words, they build upon that, and they have the confidence now, like Ken's saying, in the culture to do their own improvements and improve daily to make the process better.
Dave is the operations manager here. Dave, can you think of one thing maybe that would count as a home run, maybe even an economic home run? I heard some percentages of improvement and savings of labor that were just staggering.
One of the biggest is we have a drawer box area that used to be an antiquated system of the way we did it. And there again, the guys jumped in and worked with that. A couple of key guys that were critical in doing drawer boxes daily, were critical in improving that whole process. And they got that process changed from a 2-day process to make approximately 30 drawers down to a 4-hour process to make 30 drawer boxes. So that's an amazing change, and that all came from them. It was nothing from us. It was us encouraging them. What ideas do you have to improve this? And they jumped on it and they made it happen. Now, it didn't happen overnight. It's taken several months for that to develop, and then eventually it's come to this point.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things that stands out.
that changed with no new tooling, no new machines,
no
no
machines.
more labor, and actually the quality of the product actually got a lot tighter. The joints actually were much tighter on the new system than they were even in the antiquated, long labor system.
I bet if there was something wrong with settings, you found them quicker.
Well, that's too, the thing is that we forget to talk about is they now build a complete drawer box in this system, whereas they used to just make parts. So if the parts were cut incorrectly or something was wrong with the dado or something was wrong, you wouldn't catch it till you started building all 30 drawer boxes at the end, and that's a little too late. We wanted to be caught on the front end, so that was another big improvement.
Yeah. Ken, we talked a little bit about some of the momentum and how hard it was to get it installed, and maybe some of the plateaus and lulls in the process. So would you Would you talk just a little bit about the infancy thing?
Yeah, well, the best way I can describe it is I think it's sort of like childhood. I mean, you start out with infancy, and so in the very first, and if I was going to put time on it, I would say the first 6 months, you're sort of in the infancy stage, and as a leader of this process, you're going to have to do everything to make it happen in your daily meetings and be prepared and really be a coach all the way through. And then maybe from 6 months, for us, from 6 months to the 18-month period, I would say we were in the childhood stage, and that where we were getting little wins and they were operating on their own, but they were pretty low level things. They were sort of elementary. And so they were doing them and we were celebrating them and we made a big deal. We're just happy that they were doing them on their own, but they weren't really big wins. And then then we went to kind of plateaued again. And then we feel like we've gone into the adolescent stage now. And one of the things about adolescents is they think they don't need any help, but actually they need that much more coaching on a higher level than what they needed before, mentoring. And I think that's where we're at. We're seeing much bigger gains at this stage. But I think there's processes that you go through. And I've talked to other people that are implementing it, folks that are ahead of me, and they talk about they've gone through pretty much those same stages. And some people may blow through a stage, but I think you're going to pass through the stages as you go.
I had asked the question earlier, were there any mistakes that you made, things that you would have done differently? And you kind of indicated that, no, there wasn't a whole lot different, that you have gone through every one of those stages. That's part of the program, basically.
That's as I understand it, it really is. I think you can't microwave it. I talk about, barbecue in the South is, what makes it great is low and slow, and that smoke permeates it over time and breaks down all the connective tissue, and it makes it great and flavorful and all that. But I think you can't, if you ever had microwave meat, it doesn't work. And so I think that it's going to take some time for that smoke to permeate. It's going to take some time for lean to get in the culture, and once it gets in the culture, then everything gets easier.
Yeah, that's an explanation a Southern boy would understand. It sure is. And kind of wrapping up this little segment, and again, thanks so much to you two and your crew for
Thank you.
welcoming us this morning.
You guys are awesome masterminds. These are the masterminds of 2 Second Lean right here.
Yeah. Is there anything else you can think of, some encouragement maybe you could give the guys?
I would think just stay with it. It's going to be hard at first. When you're first implementing it, you got to stick with it. I would say follow what Paul Akers says. And my second thing I would say is follow what Paul Akers says. And the third thing is that even if you have another idea on how to do it, I would still stick with Paul Akers' ideas because they actually work. And so then after you get to maybe the adolescent stage, you may have to change things up. But those first stages, that first 18 months, you pretty much need to be by prescribed 2 Second Lean ideas. Do the bathrooms and the time and the lean time and all that, exactly like Paul lays it out.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm going to take a picture of the shop so they can see your beautiful cabinets, everybody. This is what they do. There's our truck. There's all the cabinet pulls.
We won't put that on there.
Honey, this is a rotating video, so
And you see what she's focused on.
I'm focused on the good stuff right here in these beautiful kitchens.
Why is all this stuff not working perfectly?
I have to show them the beautiful
What I
kitchens.
figured out was he really just talks about building the culture. He's not trying to be the end all in manufacturing.
Here's my favorite right here. And then to finish it out, here is the original saw. Grandfather's table saw where it all began. Thank you, masterminds.